We're not trying to save the world here. But let's say, you're talking to someone, you're feeling them, you think they're cute or whatever, and then you leave and you realize there's a giant booger in your nose the entire time. I can rewind time, clear the booger out, rewind time, and then go and chat him up. Like, it's
But
amazing.
how do you know that butterfly effect isn't going to cause them to like trip, fall on the road, and then die?
I mean, I said crush, not my future husband. So.
Whoa, that's crazy.
We already know Tosin doesn't care if people die, live or die.
She said I'm rewinding time as many times as I need to. What are you talking about?
Hey y'all, welcome to Real Relatives, the podcast where three siblings dive into the world of TV and film. My name is Tosin.
And I am Penny Carmichael.
And I am Gene Rogers.
And we are the Real Relatives. Welcome back, Extended Fam. In today's episode for our Binge segment, we're going to be talking about Supacell Season 1. It's the only season that they have right now, but they got greenlit for another season, so that's very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yes. And then in our Banter segment, we're going to talk about our favorite celebrity crossovers, because that does happen in Supacell. So we also wanted to highlight on some, maybe musicians that's crossed over into acting or into other lanes that we find interesting. But before we get into all of that, we're going to do our quote of the day. So Gene and Penny, are y'all ready for this quote?
Yeah.
I'm never ready for the quote of the day. I think we've established.
Aw, have a positive attitude, Jenny boy.
Gene has tried to sabotage me several times, so I don't care if he
That's
loses.
crazy. It only happened once.
Okay, but I think I'm really excited for this one. So listen closely, children. If only the woodpecker sighs, the bark on the tree was as soft as the skies. As the wolf waits below, hungry and lonely, he cries to the moon. If only.
I'm looking at Gene's face. Buzz. I know the answer.
Wait,
Buzz.
hold on.
Buzz.
First a clarifying question.
Buzz.
These quotes of the day have to come from like film and TV, right?
Yeah. This comes from a film or a TV show.
We know the rules, Gene.
Yeah.
All right. No, I knew for a
it.
fact that this was either from a theater play or a Shakespeare.
No.
Buzz.
I'm not going to repeat it because we're taking a long time
I'm
to
gonna go.
talk about it.
I'll go with my guess is Into the Woods.
Into the woods.
Okay.
Penny, what about you?
Take your pick. Madam Zeroni, Stanley Yelnats, all the people from Holes. 2005 film, Disney film.
Okay, Penny with the extra facts, but yes, she is correct. That comes from Holes. It is a quote that, we don't even have to get into the details. Watch Holes.
Did
It's
you try to
great.
sabotage me? Did you do it because you knew Penny would know it? You're a
Not-
terrible person.
not
I can see on your
exactly.
face. I can see on your face you're a terrible person.
Maybe
That's
I'm
fine.
just better than you.
Not
Let's
exactly.
move on. I'm not debating that.
I knew Penny
Wait,
would most
what?
likely. I knew Penny would most likely understand the quote, but I thought you did have a chance. Didn't you like to read a lot as a kid? Didn't you ever read Holes?
I read Holes and
Okay.
I watched the movie.
Yeah, don't you
It's
know
your own
Holes?
fault.
But it was
Don't
like a
you know
lot
Holes?
longer for me than it was for Penny. Like obviously.
Okay.
Anyway,
All right.
but
let's move on.
let's move on to the binge segment.
Cheaters never win.
Okay, we're moving on. Supacell. Let's get into it. It is a British superhero drama about 5 Black South Londoners who unexpectedly develop superpowers. The story centers on Michael, a working class man with the ability to travel through space and time. He is tasked with bringing the group together and protecting his fiancée, Dion. Taser, a troubled youth, struggling with personal loss and betrayal, can become invisible. Sabrina, a nurse, gains telekinesis and often has to help her troubled sister, Shar. Andre is a single father with super strength. He's trying to reconnect with his son after a stint in prison. Then we have Rodney. He's a speedster who sells weed and struggles with his family's refusal to accept him. Throughout the season, they are hunted by a mysterious organization seeking to capture and experiment on supercells. The season ends with a high-stakes battle and a cliffhanger, leaving many questions about their powers and their pursuers unanswered. And that is Supacell Season 1 in a nugget.
Oh, I like that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
it was,
I tried really hard on that one.
I think, look, obviously one of the reasons, because the show has been pretty big, right? At least I don't know, according to Netflix. And I feel like one of the reasons the show has been no, I'm just saying I don't look at the Nielsen ratings. I don't even know if it's on Nielsen ratings. But like one of those reasons I think was because we don't get a lot of black superhero content. And I think we might have talked about that on one of our other episodes, but like there aren't a lot of black superhero movies and shows for us. And I feel like this was one of those things that was like, oh, once it hit, we couldn't miss it. So I just felt like, I don't know, I liked that fact off the top.
Yeah, and I think one thing for me, as soon as I saw all of the characters in the casting, I was in. Like, I was we got black people. I love that, we had chocolatey black people. Because I do think, especially with women in Hollywood, black women being casted, they tend to cast a certain type of look for black women. And I think Supacell pushed beyond that, and we got to see something that I think encompasses the black community a bit more as a whole. So that in itself was exciting. Throw in superhero powers, all that stuff, action, interesting stories and characters. Like, I really, really enjoyed the show. It was great.
Yeah, black superheroes, you sold me. I was at least going to give it a try. I was at least going to give it a chance. So I was definitely intrigued by it. And it didn't disappoint, actually. So.
Yeah. And I thought the sickle cell aspect was very interesting, because I feel like a lot of people, maybe outside of like black people, I don't even, sometimes Africans too, don't really know about sickle cell or what it is. And so I think that was a great way to just like shed more light and more exposure on sickle cell is I don't want to call it a disease. I don't know if there's like a better way to phrase it, but
as a
virus
condition. I'm not virus. But I think also just like the flipping of, right, because you could only get this power if you right in the show they said you can only get the power if you're
a carrier
or a carrier for the gene for sickle cell. So it was a nice way also of like flipping something that kind of negatively impacts the black community disproportionately into the source of a strength. I really thought that was just a cool approach. Also, obviously, none of us are from London. None of us are from South London. But it felt like a very, and especially like from what I've heard as well, it was like a very South London black show. And I like shows that hit you with that specificity, so you can really kind of get a little glimpse into like what that world is like. Obviously they have powers, and most people in South London probably don't, but yeah, exactly.
I'm about to get into UK drill rap or
really?
whatever it is, because I was there, like, blah blah blah.
You and the youths, okay.
I was ready. Peas, bro, food.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. But I like that about the show as well. It felt like very specific. It didn't feel, at least to me, again, if you're from London and you're a listener, please let us know if it was actually a watered down version of Black Life out there. But the fact that the creator was Rap Man also had me feeling like maybe it's a little bit more authentic than usual.
Rap Man.
I feel like for the show, a lot of shows you can either break it down as like very character heavy or very plot heavy. And this show, while a lot of crazy things happened, I feel like it did focus more so on the characters. So what I'd like to do is, maybe we can discuss some of the characters and what we thought about each person, starting obviously with our main man, Michael.
Big Mike.
Not
the little.
Who obviously, and I almost felt it was a little unfair. This guy got by far the best power set.
Yeah, his powers were super like strong,
amazing.
Yeah,
he was
giving Professor X. I mean, like Professor X light for sure.
You bring up Professor X a lot. I've noticed in life.
What are you talking about?
You like Professor X? Yeah.
What are you talking about? When are people doing telekinetics in life? What do you mean?
Was he? But he wasn't.
No,
was
he
wasn't
telekinetic. He had something else with the mind.
Oh no, sorry, he wasn't telekinetic.
Yeah,
that was what's
Jean
her face.
Grey.
Yeah.
He was freezing. He was doing the.
He was freeze, so he could freeze time. He could.
Well, he could. I think he could manipulate time and space.
Time and space. He could teleport.
That's what he could do. Yeah.
Time as well. And space. Yeah.
So Michael is kind of similar to Professor X.
In that way, but Professor X has a lot of powers. So
okay.
In my opinion, actually not at all, because Professor X cannot teleport.
All right, tell us, Gene. Okay, he's like, he said, uncultured swine.
You're wrong, idiot, and here's why.
That's what I try to say in my opinion, but Professor X also doesn't manipulate time and space. He doesn't.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't freeze time. He can freeze people's mental, so they're not perceiving time. It's a little bit different.
Oh my God.
I know,
Okay.
but you guys open this Pandora's box.
No, never mind. I'm wrong.
I don't want to hear
okay.
it.
Let's get back to the blacks.
No, back to the...
All right, let's get back to our people.
Look, and obviously, so the big thing that was driving the show was Michael was sucked forward into the future, told that his now fiance is going to die, giving her the date of her death, Dion, and then sent back to the past, and his future self said, deal with it. One thing that
it's crazy because it's true.
I mean, that's exactly right. And a lot of times we're like, oh, what can I do to help my future self? Well, future self said, nah, I need my past self to help me. So he went back in time. The thing that made me upset was he just kept his mouth quiet. He was doing all this looking around. He looked nervous. He was looking at her, and Dion's like, well, what's going on? But he wouldn't tell her what was wrong. That pissed me off.
Absolutely. And I've said this. I said it, I think it was for our 3-body problem episode, the first one that we did. And I was just like, I loved Augie because she immediately said like what was wrong with her.
Right.
Michael did not do that. And it pissed me off the entire season. I was just like, he should have said something immediately.
Yep.
And then also he, instead of doing that, he was running around town trying to collect people. He wasn't working with his partner, his future partner.
He wasn't working with his future partner. He also wasn't working at his job. My man almost got fired.
Yes. And and then he was being mean to her on top of that.
I just
disagree.
like,
this
Out of
time
fear.
is precious.
Wait,
This time is precious.
Disagree with what? What is there to disagree
What are you
with?
disagreeing about?
listen,
you liar.
I don't remember. Wait, what?
That's crazy.
I don't know.
You wouldn't tell me if I was dying, Penny?
I didn't say that. Here's my thing. If you knew that your partner, significant other, was going to die like relatively soon, I don't think that's such an easy thing to tell somebody.
No one
right?
thought it was easy.
Okay, but I just feel like it was, I can understand why he didn't want to say, he did eventually say something. And I get why he didn't want to tell her. One, telling somebody that they're going to die soon, the anticipation, I feel like would feel like kind of terrible.
But he knew the date. So
he did know the date. But,
Yeah.
and I mean, I probably wouldn't say the date, even if I did share that I saw that your death and it was happening soon. I
Penny,
still probably
please.
wouldn't.
I'm
Penny,
making
please. I hope
my
you're not
man
the one
tell
to
me
find
the
out.
date.
I hope no one ever tells you
don't-
when I'm going.
Me too. I don't want to know.
I want
But
to know.
I actually think, I think there's just a difference in opinions because I don't necessarily think what he did was wrong. I can see why he wouldn't want to share that information.
Wait, so let's make it a little more realistic. My favorite thing to do.
I'm saying this is your specialty, PhD in realism. Go ahead.
You go to the doctor, or I don't want to use an example. Sam goes to the doctor, and Sam hears from the doctor that they're terminally ill. Should the doctor tell Sam, hey, you have 3 months to live, or should the doctor just be like, send Sam along
You're
their
sick,
merry
brother.
little way?
But I is sick.
Yeah, I don't
Bye.
think,
People want the estimate of time to use that how they feel that they should use it.
I think, I don't know if I said this, maybe I meant to, but I think in this, I'm talking about in Michael's specific situation. If you were terminally ill, I think a doctor has a responsibility to tell you that thing. And I also said he could tell her. It took him a second. I get why it took him a second. But I think he could tell her, but maybe not like the exact date. Because even if you're terminally ill, you also don't know the exact date that you're going to die either, right? They don't have like a specific exact.
Yeah, but if they had
Yes.
an exact
So-
date, then I feel like doctors would tell people, hey, you're going to die on whatever XYZ day.
I don't know. I mean, I can't say that. But anyway, I think
Look, you're right. Difference of opinion. It's definitely information I would want so I could spend the rest of my days wisely. And also, like, she was like starting to put herself in danger because she was trying to figure out what was going on with him, but he couldn't tell her. Secrets. So, splitting the relationship up, and they had precious little time left. This man was running around town trying to recruit everybody. Which, by the way, I was like, I know that this was probably his first time doing this, but I was like, you're not giving these people a compelling pitch. Like, no, he was like, hey, I need you to help me. Why? Because I need your help.
Yeah.
Well, what's in it for me?
Random
because
stranger.
like I'm just gonna run up on you and tell you I need you to help save my fiance's life. Michael, like I said, he was trying to recruit. Like the person I feel like it didn't make the most sense for was like he ran up on Taser and Taser's crew. He got one of the little road boys' cell phone number and then was like texting him every day like that was gonna convince. Please put me in touch with Taser. Taser had other business to be taken care of. This guy was trying to. Actually, you know what? I wasn't really vibing so much with Taser's storyline because I was like, what's his purpose out there?
I don't think Taser knew his purpose, to be honest.
He's just a lost boy.
He's a lost boy for sure. He was carrying that jagged knife. Boy, that knife was wild.
Are they that stabby in the UK? Please.
They have to be.
If you were in London, let us know.
They can't get guns.
Are they that stabby out there?
They're not strapped up like that. So I guess
because he was real excited to puncture people with that knife,
and he did. He wasn't scared to use it. My man, he was slicing, stabbing. Yes, chef.
So Taser was like, he was annoying. Don't get me wrong. He's lost and stuff. He was no criminal mastermind because he surrounded himself with the stupidest people. These stupidest people. Like, they ran into the trap house and just started firing and didn't have a plan. I was just like, oh my gosh, you're an idiot and you're annoying. So I think I had a general feeling that he would annoy the three of us. But I mean, I get his story. Like, his mom up and left. He thinks that she abandoned him, which, we learned later on that's not the case. The people who are supposed to be looking out for him, like, Crazy, his mentor and all that stuff, ended up betraying him. So he was annoying, but I understood his storyline and why he acts the way that he acts.
That's
Hopefully
fair.
He'll be redeemable in future seasons.
Basically a child, and he's trying to be a gangster.
And low key, actually, I was looking at, is it AJ, Andre's kid? Mm-hmm. And I was like, if Andre's not careful, that's Taser.
Oh, he's on the path.
That's Taser.
He's on the path. Mm-hmm.
Andre's obviously trying to be a good dad. My man, he had his little issue. He went to prison, but he made some major missteps. First of all, you robbed an ATM. ATMs are full of cameras.
Did he rob it per se?
What did he do?
He did rob it.
It happened to crack open.
Okay.
The money happened to fall into his pockets.
The wealth should be shared amongst the people of the world.
Sure, but when Andre robbed that ATM,
what did he do? Did he share it with the people?
With his son.
Stupidly, instead of sharing it with his debt collectors, he went and shared that money with his son.
Then boys, by the way, you said debt, very African.
Debt.
That's crazy. The B came out of nowhere. But when those collectors came to the house and he was like, "Oh, get out of my house!"
Were those actually debt collectors? Though?
Yeah. No, I think they were legitimate, because that's all they wanted. They just wanted money.
Yeah, they left as soon as he
paid
what
them.
he owed.
It just seems sketchy.
It did seem sketchy because in America, I don't know debt collectors to run up on your house.
I don't know if they do that in the UK either.
But what I do know is, my man, why would you going and buying shopping? You had shopping bags full of stuff. You were buying new iPhones. You could have gotten. Look, I love AJ. You could have gotten him an iPhone 12 instead of 15 or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Save a couple of dollars here and there. Pay your debts.
Yeah.
And he just I think he makes the mistake that. I don't know. I didn't grow up with an absentee father, so, I can only say so much.
Yeah.
But I do feel like he kind of makes the mistake that some absentee parents do. It's like, hey, to make up for lost time, instead of spending time with you, I'm going to buy you a bunch of stuff.
Or do both, right?
Or both, but because he was breaking promises to his son. They have a very fragile relationship, and instead of focusing on, spending time with him and making sure he follows through on his words, he was just like, here's an iPhone, here, let's go on a shopping spree and things like that. And I was just like, it just rubbed me the wrong way. It just made me think of when you have these famous men and they have a bunch of different kids with a bunch of different women, and people, because I be in the comments, people are like, well, at least he can afford to have those kids. And I was like, but it takes more than buying your kids things than to be a dad. So Andre was just like, just be around your son. I think that's all AJ wanted, and Andre was nowhere to be seen sometimes.
No, okay,
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I feel like once money, because he was trying to get work, right? My man was trying to get a job.
I really felt for him.
You need the job to get the money, and then we were all, at first I was like, oh, why is he struggling? But then obviously he pours his heart out to that man.
I thought he was going to hire him.
I knew for a fact he was. I knew for a fact he was going to get that job.
Like, you didn't want to raise that black man up from the mud.
I said, "Wow." He said,
"All right, black man.
Tell me what happened." He said, "Yeah, my friend, I'm giving my friend a ride, and this and that, and this and that, and then drugs in the car, and I had no idea. I didn't want to snitch." And I was like, "Yeah, man, he's really it's going to teach us that honesty is really the best policy. And if you just share." You know what I'm saying, with the people around you, who you really are. He said, no, I can't hire you. He said, I'm sorry, it's a liability.
Yeah. If I were Andre, I would lie too. I get it. Because people don't want to give second chances. Right? Yeah, I know it would catch up with me and I keep getting fired, but I would lie. I would keep lying.
But it's tough. I think he's in a tough situation.
For sure.
He's not knowing what to do. And I think, a lot of people just throw money at situations, but that's not necessarily what's needed.
Look, man, it was working, though. Him and his son were getting along great. He loved them. Let's be honest. He loved the gifts. He loved the money. He loved the time, too. But
I'm sorry, but is John the friend that set Andre up with the drugs? Because I don't understand why Andre is friends with John.
John, the one who tried to convince him to do.
No, he convinced him to rob the trap house.
Oh,
and then he took the safe, and the safe was empty. And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, you can do it again." It's John, the one who planted the drugs. And Andre's
Here's the thing, though. John. Some of the first things we learned about John, he said, and look, no offense to anyone out there, everyone can have their own vices, but he said, "I do narcotics every now and then."
I was like, but
John needed some things, all right? John needed money himself.
John is a liability
to fuel his addiction.
I don't think someone with Andre's background, like, I don't understand why he would be friends with someone like John. That doesn't make sense to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I was like, this is not a good idea. Why would you suggest this?
Because that money he had to give the money to the debt collector. Money was running out, and he still needs to buy more gifts for his son. Obviously there were a couple of other, I think the only person we haven't talked about, at least one of the main cast, is Sabrina. I'm going to let someone else go because I got to gather my thoughts where Sabrina's concerned.
Stand up, Sabrina, stand up.
Sabrina just,
stand up.
Honestly, in life, Sabrina just, like, I don't know what she thought about herself, but, like, she was not willing to fight. Until the very end, she was not willing to fight. She would fight for her sister, but she wouldn't fight for herself.
Can we break this down? What is setting up? Maybe because her sister was so annoying, she just looked like the best person ever.
Sis definitely had poor judgment, but I had
poor judgment. She was a stupid woman.
Her sister was a simpleton. She was a bird.
These are words. I'm not going to call anyone a bird or a stupid woman.
No, I'll call it. She was a bird.
Please, but break down. Y'all tell me about Sabrina.
First of all. Sabrina had a boyfriend too, right? Because first of all, neither of them had good taste in men.
Oh my gosh! I
because she pulled up to her man's house only for the woman to come out talking about, "Who are you?" She said, "Well, who are you?" She said, I'm this guy's girlfriend. He said, "I'm this man's girlfriend." So how long? You know what I mean? And I think I don't think she was done with him at that moment, or was she?
I mean, I don't know, threw him in.
She threw him. Yeah, no. What it was that there was like multiple times before where her sister was like, "Oh, where are you going?" "I'm going out on a date with so-and-so. Yeah, if he shows up this time," type of stuff. And I was like,
yes.
Okay, so little sis, all she did was learn and compound on it. You feel me? Like she took the bad choices in men and just doubled down. Because she was dating crazy. She was dancing with dude in the club and whatever. They were having a good time. Went out, started making out. My man flipped the script very quickly when he realized that little sis was not going to put out. And it became a battle. But
what does this have to do with Sabrina?
Because when Sabrina eventually came out to like defend her sister and flung the dude into the wall, what did she say? The next thing she's like, "I'm going to turn myself in." What are you talking about? Why?
I was just more mad she put her fingerprints on his body.
But I feel like she felt like she doesn't deserve, like, even you whatever, you knock this guy out in self-defense, like, why would you turn yourself in? Why would you abandon your sister? Why you always, I feel like victim.
Well, maybe she chose to abandon her sister because her sister was too much stress. It's like, if I'm in jail, at least I don't have to look out for you anymore because you are mad annoying.
Stress. I don't know. When people are just like, I'm trying to like do the thing that will get me in the least amount of trouble. I understand the thought there. I don't think it necessarily made sense, but in every show, they're like, I'm going to turn myself in.
I don't mind the turn yourself in and all that stuff, whatever. I think I just generally have a pet peeve, whether it's on TV or in real life. I have a pet peeve with people who just let people walk all over them.
What are you talking about in real life?
Shut up. Right. I don't like it. Even at work, she wouldn't advocate for herself.
That's true, yeah.
Advocating for yourself at work is a very hard thing to do. Like, I've been there. Sometimes I've succeeded. Other times I've failed at it. Like,
facts.
But she just... It was just in everything to advocate for herself. She would enable her sister, wouldn't stand up to her sister. Her boyfriend was trash. She didn't really stand up to him. I was just like, girl, stand up. That's all I have to say for Sabrina.
What specific instance did she not advocate for herself at work? Because whenever they were trying to like call her in, and she was like, I do this. Like,
she said that at the very end when she thought that they were going to get rid of her right before the promotion. She should have been asked for that promotion. Should have said something about it way earlier. Even her sister was like, girl, why
showing up early, leaving late?
Yeah, why are you doing all that and you're not getting the bag on top of that?
Is that a desire of her heart? But you know what? I don't know.
She did want it. Sabrina, stand up. All right.
And I was wrong, by the way. I forgot Rodney. We got to talk about Rodney, who honestly may be the person who I was like, this is the most realistic version of if I got powers, what I would do. I'm not trying to become a superhero.
Coward.
Huh?
You're a coward.
Sure. Rodney was not interested in being a hero. He was interested in doubling his money. Double it up, triple it up. I'm trying to get my bread up. If I have super speed, I'm going to figure out a job that I can do with super speed, and I'm going to get that money.
But he just wanted to get more money. When I learned his reasoning, it was very silly to me, so that his mom would like him again. It didn't make sense to me.
I don't know if that was his reasoning.
That was his motivation for getting more money.
Did he explicitly say that?
Something like that. I watched the show more recently than you.
But okay. Well,
but I feel like first of all, his mom was obviously a problem. She was a racist, and she married a racist.
Mm-hmm. She was giving me like, oh, I can't be a racist. I have to insert like different race for me member of my family.
For sure. That was definitely like it was like a weekend out, and let's do something crazy, and she hooked up with a black guy, and Rodney, boom, and then she regretted it. Baby. She regretted it her whole life, for sure.
That was icky. Yeah.
But no, I just thought, I was like, oh, he's trying to keep his head low. He's trying to make money. That feels like a normal way to use powers.
Rodney, I was like, oh, he was comic relief for the most part. I see your role on the show, comic relief, and then like going back to his hesitancy. The only thing I can think around that is like Spud didn't deserve what he got. That's all I cared about. I was like, Spud,
my potato boy. I just want to call it now. I feel like there was something there between Rodney and Sabrina.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Rodney and Spud.
I was like, hey, look, it could have been. I didn't see it either, but it could have been.
Maybe there was.
Rodney and Sabrina.
I'm just
didn't clock that, but I'll be
I like
watching.
that actually. I know I clocked Rodney to Sabrina. He was definitely feeling her, but Sabrina needs somebody to loosen her up a little bit. And Rodney needs.
Why don't you want better for black women?
Rodney needs somebody to help him be a little bit serious.
They both need each other for different reasons.
For sure.
Rodney is a drug dealer. Y'all want to get with a drug dealer?
Yeah,
what's wrong?
I mean,
he could have just left a relationship with a drug dealer.
He was dealt a hard hand.
There are different kinds of drug dealers, okay?
Yeah, he's harmless. He's fine. It's just weed. He's fine.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Learn something new. Penny want herself a little drug lord. Okay.
Yeah, let's move on.
No, that's crazy, actually. Penny, little Griselda Blanco. But so season 1, fire.
So annoying.
Season 1, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm looking forward to season 2, but I have some questions, right? Like, so for instance, at the end of season 1, Dion actually dies, and her death ends up being not the day that Michael was told that she was going to die. So I was like, okay, so clearly Michael's powers can affect not just like he's changing stuff, right? He's changing what happened, but in that moment he couldn't save her, so he had somehow ran out of powers.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm hoping that they address in the future seasons. Is just like, how does that work? Because all of them, or a lot of them at certain points, seem to have run out of juice, but we didn't really get a great explanation on how that works. How what revs them up, what sucks their energy. I mean, clearly using the power, but I want some more clarity on that. Netflix, take notes.
So season 2, we want to figure out a little bit more about the powers. We want to figure out, well, actually, what are they going to do now that Dion is dead? How's the group going to move? And then also, who exactly are they fighting? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, whatever this underground organization, the estate, who are these people? They didn't really. I mean, I get that I think the point of the season was to kind of like build things up, give us a little foundation, and it clearly, based on the end, like we're gonna learn more about who the villains are later. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they need to tell us, because they weren't quite giving the season, but I'll allow it as long as we get into that in season 2.
Yeah, and I think with the organization though, it's very clear that they are white people using black bodies for whatever experimentation.
Mm-hmm. Snap it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Dang,
true.
educate the people. Do it.
Okay.
Now it's time for a revolution. It's time for a revolution.
Have things really changed?
Mm-hmm.
Have things really changed?
Even across the pond, we're dealing with the same adversity. We're dealing with the same, putting our black bodies on the line.
Are using black bodies.
No, actually, no.
Y'all are the worst. Y'all are the absolute worst.
I actually agree. That was because that's something I didn't catch when I watched the show. Actually, was that the organization was all the people in power were white, and
They're
then
all pale. Yeah,
all
I
the
peeped
soldiers.
that. No, because when What's Her Face was in the sickle cell treatment center, I said, "Who's this white savior here helping other people?" Because I was like, "It's giving white savior."
Oh no, for sure. She she was definitely.
I don't like it, and I knew I didn't like it.
Was going off.
I knew I didn't like it for a reason.
Yeah,
look at her.
Spidey sense was going off for sure.
Crazy that Crazy was working with them, but we have to remember, all skin folk ain't kin folk.
Period.
Facts.
Period.
Speaking of Crazy, and I'm gonna call him Craig because every time Sabrina called him Craig, I was like, this is just low key disrespect. But Craig had a very interesting power set, which had me kind of inspired for the wildcard question this week, which is, whose power would you want, and how would you use that power in your everyday life? So anybody's powers from the show, whose power would you want the most, and how would you use it day-to-day life?
I have a feeling of what all of us are going to say, which is going to make our answers very boring.
Sure, you can go with the boring
what
answer,
do you think?
or you can go with an original answer. Be original.
I want to hear you first.
Mine's not original because I want
think?
what everyone else wants. I think we're all going to say Michael.
I'm not saying Michael.
Oh, you're not?
So I have my answer is kind of an interesting one. Anyway, but say your thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'm alone here. Yeah, I'm going
go
with
ahead,
Michael's.
boring
I'm
Betty.
jumping
Go
through
ahead.
time. I'm redoing things. I'm like, yeah, imagine the ability. Let's say, we're making it very simple because we're not trying to save the world here. But let's say, you're talking to someone, you're feeling them, you think they're cute or whatever, and then you leave and you realize there's a giant booger in your nose the entire time. I can rewind time, clear the booger out, rewind time, and then go and chat him up. Like, it's
But
amazing.
how do you know that butterfly effect isn't going to cause them to like trip, fall on the road, and then die?
I mean, I said crush, not my future husband. So.
Whoa, that's crazy.
We already know Tosin doesn't care if people die, live or die.
She said I'm rewinding time as many times as I need to. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
it's all happened to
crazy.
Dion,
Okay.
so never
So
mind.
Mike, now we know, hey, day to day, use it on your
Michael's
crush. I like that.
powers. Oh wait, what?
No, y'all just had me think the butterfly effect. Oh no, I don't think I want my.
Nah, you already
I'll
stuck.
take Sabrina's. I'll take Sabrina's.
No, you already
I'm
stuck.
taking Sabrina's.
You're stuck with. What are you doing with Sabrina's?
To lift stuff.
What?
I don't know.
What do you need to lift in your
Groceries.
day-to-day life?
I'm carrying groceries from the
facts,
car.
facts.
I had to make 2 trips yesterday.
I'm not
I'm
even
a
gonna get too
single
nerdy on y'all, but
woman
like I always think about like,
carrying
how much can they lift?
groceries.
Is that like mental strain? Is it like popping your brain if you lift too much? But anyway, Penny, what's your answer?
I mean, I feel like Michael's power is definitely the coolest and probably the most desirable in my opinion.
Sure.
However, as somebody who is chronically late, Rodney's power.
I had to give Rodney some thought.
Rodney's powers are definitely cool. I mean, I guess Michael can manipulate time, but I feel like
Yeah.
that's doing a lot,
He
right? He's
teleport.
manipulating.
He can also just
things.
teleport,
Oh, he
though.
can. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
I
can
would
teleport.
Yeah.
Bro, because imagine where I could be. Like,
Let me tell you. No.
Like, I would be later on a beach every weekend.
No. His teleportation has limits, right? He made it clear that he can't teleport over to the US. Like
Yet.
it's
He
very
did? Oh, I don't remember that.
He says it during the show that it's like he can't just jet all over the world.
All right, well,
Again,
I'm going with Rodney.
season 2, hopefully we get a little more
Yeah.
explanation, but
Right.
it's not that he can just, you're going to be in Fiji next weekend.
Yeah.
Let me find
Yeah.
out Rodney can run on water because then I'd
like
be
the
like,
Flash,
no, I'm picking
my
Rodney.
name is
Dash.
Barry
How
Allen.
incredible.
But he also like self heals, and I feel like that would be.
That's actually
very
it's a
helpful
common
as well.
speedster thing. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I actually I lied. I did have Michael written down because, but mostly for the time. I'm not
Expose
going
yourself.
back. I don't need to go back and relive a bunch of terrible moments. No, I need to mostly get to work on time, like
very
Penny was saying. So Rodney or Michael could work for that, but also with Michael, yeah, like travel. Again, if he can travel anywhere in the world, like. Imagine you can travel. Hold on, man.
Oh, sorry.
I'm killing my dreams. Imagine you can travel, but you don't have to pay for hotels and you don't have to pay for flights.
Because you
gone.
just get ready
Just
at
go
home.
back
and
Yeah,
home.
you get ready
zap
home. Yeah,
over.
you can live. I mean, like if
pretty
you
dope.
want to
Like,
pay for
no.
to stay in a nice hotel, of course, whatever. But I'm not flying anywhere. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
But I also had to
changed my
think
mind. I
about
want Michael's powers back.
you. A little
Sorry,
flip flopper.
continue.
You a flip flopper.
Stay.
Stand 10 toes down. Stay on business.
For what?
But Loki actually had to flip flop one more time because I was like, is it crazy? Am I getting Craig's powers so I can dabble and sample in everybody's?
Oh, because that is a good point.
Right?
Sorry, one quick thing.
Yeah.
This was low-key Heroes. Did anyone catch that?
Yeah.
All these people had to come together,
Ooh, to
and
save
then
the
you have
cheerleader.
the main guy who can also absorb powers and stuff. It was a mixture of Heroes and Crash. I meant to say that earlier.
Okay.
Crash is a movie where basically it's the butterfly effect.
No, I've seen Crash, but
Yeah.
I'm just okay. Maybe I'm not remembering enough, like the movie's plot enough.
The storytelling was like Crash.
Okay.
How everyone's like life affects
Was-
everyone
and
else's
it was
life.
all
Everyone.
interwoven.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Interesting.
heroes.
I interrupted.
No, but I was just gonna say, like, the only thing about Craig's powers is, like, if you don't know other powered people, it's fairly useless, right? Unless you could, like, steal, like, abilities or like just like you run faster. You're a good basketball player, so I can take that from you. Like, I'm not really sure what you're doing with Craig's powers, but
how long did it last? When did it wear
that
off?
I also don't know.
So many unanswered questions.
Top useless though is probably flamethrowing, which is like a really cool power in a battle. But what am I doing with it in real life?
I would be so mad if that.
Cook up a
I
steak?
was
What
seeing
are we talking
Michael's
about?
power. I was seeing Craig's power, and I got flamed.
Even
I would be
Sabrina's,
upset.
yeah.
I would be very, very upset.
If you're a chef though, that might, who knows? Anyway, ladies, we have Binge. Let's get into our banter. One of the things that we noticed in Supacell, speaking of crazy Craig, is that character was played by the artist Getz, the musician Getz, and
rapper.
Yes, rapper.
Drill man.
I'm sure you've come across him in your exploration of UK drill music.
Soon. Gets.
But
I'm coming for you.
That's happened quite a bit in the UK, specifically in black shows like Top Boy. You have Dave playing characters in Top Boy. You had Kano playing Sully. And it had us thinking about who are some of our favorite actors who've crossed over from either music or some other fields, right? Maybe they were famous as something else first, and now they're an actor. What do y'all think? Who are some of y'all's faves that have crossed over?
Okay, I think The Rock is probably like
he's the odd. He's a big one.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
He
Is he though? Is he even the best?
Wait,
Is he the best wrestler turned actor?
well, there's John Cena.
Oh, but
And-
John Cena hasn't had as much of a lucrative career as The Rock.
Yeah,
In acting?
he's busy. He's busy.
He's busy, but I don't think he's at
busy,
the level
but-
of The Rock yet.
That's fair. That's fair.
He can get there. I'm not
Yeah.
saying he can't. He's just not there right now.
Maybe it's just because you can't always see him.
That's crazy. Oh man, I wish we were a video podcast. I wish you can't see me.
Nice,
Sorry.
sorry. That was good. That was good.
And then there's also Dave Bautista,
Oh,
I forgot about him.
who's done quite a bit of interesting work. Because obviously Drax in the Guardians movies, but also like M. Night Shyamalan movies. He's been in Ridley Scott movies. He's actually, I feel like, low key trying to be like an actor.
wait,
You
which
know what I mean?
Ridley Scott movie?
He was in Blade. Was that? No. That is actually Denis Villeneuve. Sorry, the Blade Runner 2049, and he was also
I haven't seen
in
any of them.
another he was in Dune.
He wasn't Dune.
Yeah, so he's been taking on,
I think he's trying to be an actor.
Yeah.
Because
Like
he
a
was saying
serious-
his thing about his
yeah.
Marvel movies and not.
I don't like when they do that though.
Yeah,
Marvel makes you
better
famous and you
thing,
start
but
talking on
hand
here.
I think he's trying to be a
Fed
serious
you
actor.
early
Facts.
on.
Yeah.
Ooh, I have one.
Who?
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Yeah, Will Smith is on my list as
Is he
well.
maybe the most successful ever?
He
Yeah.
might be. Yeah,
Yeah.
I always forget that he was like initially a rapper before he jumped
That's how I
into
feel about J-Lo.
the acting scene.
I also had J-Lo on my thing.
But Will Smith is, you know what?
Go look at J-Lo's concert sales. You'll feel the same way.
I'm very good. I'm very glad Will
Also-
Smith decided to get into acting because he is quite a treat. What an incredible actor! So I'm glad
Quite a
he.
treat.
You want to know
Glad he-
someone else who went from rapping to acting? Mark
Ludacris.
Wahlberg.
Oh, sorry, who?
Boo.
Wait, what'd you say?
Mark Wahlberg.
Boo. Boo.
Marky Mark?
Don't hate on Marky Mark.
Marky Mark?
Marky Mark is I'm not even gonna call him that. Mark Wahlberg is a racist.
It's problematic.
And problematic. So he acted like a
Or
Rodney's
at
mama.
least his past actions
crazy.
have proven to be so. To be so.
Okay. Who else do we like?
I said Ludacris.
Yeah.
I forgot about him.
Tyrese.
Tyrese as well. Right.
Lord.
A lot of those Fast and Furious people. What more do you want from me?
Congratulations. Okay. And then Janelle Monáe is somebody.
Oh, she has been
Oh,
acting
she
in her
has
actress
been
bag.
I actually
Yeah.
really like her as an actor. I think she's a good
Yeah.
actress,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'd love to see her on the screen.
She's also
So-
amongst the most gorgeous people on the
Yeah,
earth.
she's so pretty. And she
Very
hasn't
beautiful.
aged. She has not aged. I'm
Yeah.
confused. So how do you still look 25?
Ooh, I have one.
Oh,
Sorry.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
Jennifer Hudson.
Oh,
yeah.
when I was telling you.
I'm not
Oh.
going. All right.
Facts.
We're
facts.
J.
we're
Hud.
very talented on this
Hud,
podcast.
yeah.
everyone.
Oh, Idris Elba. I'm looking at a list online
big,
right now.
Big Driss. Big
Wait,
Driss.
did he do like he actually did
He's a rapper and a
music?
DJ.
He's like a DJ.
But I thought that came like after he started acting. I didn't know that was
No.
like
He
think
started
that was
off
before.
doing pirate radio or
Oh.
whatever. A couple that maybe don't count because they weren't like as famous, but came from some interesting careers. Halle Berry was a pageant queen, apparently, Miss USA. at some point.
What?
Oh, I did not know that.
Ken Jeong was a doctor, like a licensed doctor,
yes, he was.
before becoming.
Yes.
Channing Tatum obviously famously came from stripping.
Wait, he was actually a stripper?
He's a stripper.
Correct. Yeah. And then I have one that I feel like there's a guy now that they're trying to make into an actor. Anyone know who I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Tell us.
Travis Kelce.
Oh yeah, he's doing something with like Niecy Nash.
He's gonna be in a Ryan Murphy show. Mm-hmm. They have him he's gonna be in a buddy comedy, a Lionsgate movie that maybe they're shooting this year. I don't know, but I feel like they're trying to find his second career, and he's doing the podcasting, and then they're gonna make him an actor. They're gonna make him a star. Okay. So I think he wants to be like The Rock.
Interesting. We'll see what happens, Mr. Kelce. Okay.
We're rooting for you. Maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know that white man. I don't know if I'll root for him.
Alrighty. Well, what another wonderful episode of Real Relatives. Everyone go watch Supacell if you haven't checked it out.
Yes,
please go check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know what you think about Supacell and about our conversation on our socials. And does anyone have any final thoughts?
I have 2 very quick scenarios for y'all and answer as fast as you can.
Okay,
I'm ready.
Penny, someone offers you $2 million to stay away from their son. Y'all have been together for 8 months. $2 million.
$2 million.
Yes, you've been.
No,
you've
she's
been
giving you her answer.
For 8 months, and you love him, and he's great. But it's been 8 months. What are you doing? You dropping him?
I love him.
Yeah, you love him.
Oh, I don't know. I have to be in this. I've never
answer
have to be
fast.
In that situation.
Yes or no?
I answered $2 million before, but
okay. So yes, you're taking the $2 million. Jean, would you lend your baby to Beyonce for 5 years for $5 billion?
Absolutely not.
Okay, thank you. Those are my final questions.
Wait, but I love him? I've never.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. $5 billion, you said?
$5 billion.
No. I gotta be no.
But
thank you, everyone, so much for listening. We will see you soon, and bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Real Relatives. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please take a moment to leave a review, rate us, subscribe, and share our podcast with your people. We're available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and whatever platform you enjoy listening to podcasts on. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X, at Real Relatives. That's REEL, Relatives, to stay updated on new episodes, vote on polls, because, side note, Jean loves a good IG story poll, and just share your thoughts with us. We really mean it when we say we want to hear from you. Make sure to tune in again in 2 weeks for more banter on TV and movies with the Relatives. Until then, take care and happy watching.